And this is This or That Gold Cup Final Edition. Herculez Gomez, former U.S. men's team national player. Mauricio Pedroza, never played for any national team. But
you hurt your knee.
I hurt my knee when I was 14. I was playing with Atlas, just for one day. Anyways, that's not important. What's really important is the rivalry is back. We all were expecting this. Mexico versus the U.S.
That's the way the tournament is designed.
Now, the thing that I don't like is there's nothing really in play for this game. It's just honor. It's just who's the true gigante de la CONCACAF, who's the giant of the region. So let's start with this. Who has the better squad, the U.S. or Mexico?
I mean, if you're going to go player per player, line through line, right now,
that's exactly what I'm asking.
It has to be the Mexican team. Let's start off with the goalie. I mean, Memo Ochoa. No memo, no party.
Best goalie in CONCACAF.
Best goalie in CONCACAF right now. You go out through the center backs, maybe off of experience, not the tournament, but off of experience, off of total where they play, of who they are. It's got to be the Mexican national team. Midfield, I think that's where it gets a little murky. You could say the U.S. men's national team because of Michael Bradley, because of Weston McKennie. Pulisic, where they play, all these players.
Let me stop you there.
Yes.
Does Mexico have a player like Pulisic?
The closest would be Irving Lozano, Chucky Lozano, who is
not part of the squad.
Who is not part of this Gold Cup squad. So no, they do not.
Well, that's a big advantage for the U.S. Because when you talk about playmakers, that's my biggest concern with the Mexican team. I don't see a true playmaker, and I know you're gonna say, what about my boy Uriel Antuna who plays for the Galaxy?
No, I was gonna say Pizarro.
Has he really been playing up to that level?
Well, he's been injured, but I think at his best level, that's the closest thing to a playmaker that the Mexican national team has. Here's the problem for Tata Martino. His best players aren't in this tournament, and yet they still have a better squad because besides Michael Bradley, 31 years old, besides Josie Alter, 29, the rest are kids that are 24 years of age and younger.
I was going to say, up front, who would you rather have right now, Raul Jimenez or Josie Altider?
I think Raul Jimenez offers you more, and he proved it at Wolverhampton, and he's proven it so far in his time with the Mexican national team.
So advantage Mexico. Let's move on to the next topic. Who has the most pressure on their shoulders? Is it the U.S.? Oh, sorry. First of all, coaching advantage. Is it the U.S. or Mexico? Greg Berhalter or Tata Martino, who won the last season in the MLS with Atlanta?
Now, Greg Berhalter has a little edge over Tata Martino in the fact that they've already faced each other in a knockout game in 2017, Columbus Crew versus Atlanta United, and he actually, very superior to Tata Martino that game, threw him for a loop. Tata Martino and his Atlanta United men, they're gone. Yeah. But that was a different team.
Tata, we have a better squad, by the way.
Tata, by the way, Barcelona, Paraguay, Argentina.
Yeah.
He's coached much better players. He has such a great curriculum. I think it's a no-brainer. You have to go with Tata Martino.
Even if you consider that there are a lot of similarities in their process right now, right? They're just starting their process.
Yes, but there's a big difference between the two.
Big difference. And I think Tata, even though he's been coaching for this team only for 6 months, he has a greater knowledge of his team that Greg Berhalter does. Would you agree?
Yeah, maybe. He's already at least plasmated. He's already has them playing with the DNA of style, which is something that the U.S. men's national team has lacked in his last few games.
I agree. It's time for pressure now. It's time for the pressure topic. Let's do that. Who do you think has the most pressure?
Now, you would think a team that failed to qualify for the World Cup, you would think a team that didn't name a head coach for about almost 14 months, you would think a team that hadn't played a competitive game, a real official game in over 600 days would be the team with the most pressure, but it's not. You and I know what the Mexican market is like. You and I know what Tata Martino's life will be if he loses to the U.S. men's national team this Sunday. It will be hell, it will be bad, and he will have to answer not just Monday, but for the rest of his days while he's there. That'll hang over his head.
You would think that I would agree with that, but I actually don't. And here's why. You already answered that question. Tata Martino still has 6 different players that are not part of this squad. So if he loses this game on Sunday, he can easily go back and say, hey, I didn't have my best players available. This is not the team that I want as my starting 11.
You think he's got that kind of credit?
I think so. I think so.
I think you're asking a lot.
He just started this process, and I believe that, first of all, I think he's the right guy for the job.
Absolutely.
And second of all, so far, I think that, in general, the Mexican soccer people, la gente del fútbol, really like Tata Martino. All right, Let's move on. There are three great games on Sunday, right? First of all, we will start with the women's final. That's the U.S. playing the Netherlands or Holland. Then the Copa America final, Brazil playing big underdogs Peru. And
Vamos,
then
Peru.
the Gold Cup final, the rivalry, the big game, Mexico, United States. If you could only watch one game, which one would you watch?
This is a no-brainer for me. You have to watch the women's game. You have to watch. First of all, it's a World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. That's the answer.
It doesn't get
it's
any,
the World Cup. It doesn't
better
get better
than the
than
World
that.
Cup. But it's actually been the better tournament. The overall play's been better. The competition's been better. The spirit of the game has been better. These players don't complain. They don't try to draw fouls. They don't try to dive. It's just been better theatrics from a whole, and the whole world has been captivated. You saw a Brazil game versus, who was it, France? Over 30 million in Brazil were watching.
I'll say this, though. It says a lot of you that you had been part of that big rivalry game, Mexico and the U.S., and you picked the women's game.
Undefeated.
And I completely agree with you.